aggressive. And I think one thing for Nicole May to understand is that they can come in here, they're going to attack. You've got to stay within the strike zone, but you've got to be careful.
Sophomore Ailana Agbayani takes the first pitch for a called strike. We're underway. And Agbayani really and truly kind of a leader for this BYU offense, hitting .418 on the season, and that is launched to the left center field gap. Agbayani is on her horse, and she's going to slide in safely at second for a leadoff double to start the game for BYU. As if on cue, talking about being a leader, Agbayani setting the tone for BYU.
Exactly, and I think that's exactly what Coach Eakin expects of her. He wants her to come in, be aggressive, get a pitch you can work with, find your way on. Finding that gap is huge. Leadoff double, that's a big deal.
Senior lefty Maddie Bejarano hacking first pitch, and a miscue in foul territory by Alyssa Brito. And what felt like a little bit of a gift, and that's not a mistake you see Alyssa Brito make very often.
Yeah, very uncharacteristic for Brito to drop that ball. Those are the plays you can't really afford against an offense like BYU.
And wild pitch gets away. Agbayani is going to move up to third, and just like that, the Cougars are threatening here in the top of the first. And you get the feeling this Sooner defense needs to take a breath.
Yeah. See Kinsey Hansen kind of come out of the box and try to settle the defense.
A good shot of Coach Gasso in her 30th season. 810 winning percentage. And Bejarano taking some good hacks at the plate.
I think one thing I've seen already is they're not letting any good pitches go by.
And we talked about it, Destiny. This is a BYU offense that really and truly got shut down in game one.
Yeah.
Very uncharacteristic of what the Cougars can do offensively. The 1-2 is lifted to left field. Agbayani tags. Here comes the throw. And BYU takes an early lead, 1-0. And one thing we did not see from the Cougars last night was applying pressure. And they have changed the tone here early in game two.
Yeah, they have come out, they have attacked, they are taking advantage of the good pitches, they are being smart on the base pass. That throw just off the plate a little bit, but Agbayani had a great jump over at third. She was going to be safe regardless.
A sac fly brings up Zavadnik, and she takes the first pitch in the helmet. Rolled into it and thankfully looks to be okay, but things in disarray a little bit for the Sooners here early, as Kinsey Hansen makes her way out to the circle, and that's what you need to see from the leader. You've got to calm some things down.
Yeah, I think this, just the intent.
And nice location from May to open up the count. Ava 0 for 2 in game one, but has been an RBI machine for the Cougars with 49 on the season. And Nicole May, and a plus count here. No balls and 2 strikes. And ground ball, opportunity to roll 2, but not going to happen as we see a little miscommunication up the middle. And the fielder's choice will make it 2 outs for the Sooners.
It's a little uncharacteristic of this OU defense. You see Nicole receive this and just know she's got to go 2 on that with the holdup of Tiare and Hodge. trying to figure out who's going to cover.
Sophomore Lily Owens stands in. Owens, the lone hit for BYU in game 1. The 1-0 loops in for a called strike, and nice change of speeds from May. Grounded to the left side. Jennings will fire it across, and that'll do it, but not before BYU strikes out. To me is the base on balls number.
Yes, lots of walks.
46 walks in 59 innings pitched. And walks have been a problem for this BYU staff, and we saw it in game 1 as well, as Jada Coleman is set to lead it off. Sooner fans on their feet. And a packed house here at Loves Field. Gotta love it. Suarez rocks and fires, and behind here 2 balls and no strikes. And there's a look at the OU starting lineup. And Cassidy Pickering, the freshman, had a heck of a night in game 1, going 2 for 3. Had a solo shot and just really coming back strong after hitting a little bit of a slump, shall I say. But the freshman really doing a good job.
Yes. Cassidy Pickering, she's been on fire. I think it's tough to say slump when you're in this lineup. It's just not typical, you know, OU, what you typically see from these hitters. But still, great hitter. She came in, went opposite field on a long ball last night. We're seeing some good things out of the freshmen. Ella Parker doing great things. Cassidy Pickering doing great things.
The 2-0 to Coleman just misses upstairs, and what has been an Achilles heel for this BYU pitching staff. Mares behind here, 3 balls and no strikes to start the bottom half of the first. And it is a 4-pitch walk to Jada Coleman.
These are the things that you cannot afford with this OU offense.
Tiare Jennings stands in.
Talking to Coach Eakin, we asked, you know, what is your defensive approach to winning this game? And he's, you know, you got to limit the free passes. You've got to be solid on defense. But for his pitching staff, you've got to stay within the zone. Keep the ball down and hopefully roll up some ground balls.
BYU not really having an opportunity to defend much in game 1. It's the 1-0 is in for called strike 1, and Mares finds the zone there. But there's 2 things you can't defend. You can't defend home runs and you can't defend walks. And that's really what we've seen from this BYU staff, who is young but very talented. So just needing to get in the zone and let pitches work. Catcher Haley Mara slowing things down a bit. Jennings 0 for 2 in game 1, but did draw a walk. The 1-2's grounded to the left side, and they're going to get Coleman at first, or excuse me, at second for the first out of the inning. Now to bring up Alyssa Brito. And it looks like there may be a conversation being had. Jada Coleman kind of pointing to the foot.
It looked as if Jada Coleman kind of came in a little hot to break up that play. That may have been what that conversation was about. Just making sure she's okay.
And junior second baseman Kayla Kamoku hanging tough. And good job by the freshman getting a little ground ball out of Jennings to get the lead out. As Brito stands in. Brito, a little bit of a tough night in game one.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. A little bit of a rough night yesterday. We saw, you know, the change in velocity that we saw last night was pretty tough on some of these hitters.
That pitch gets away. Jennings going to move up into scoring position and represent the tying run here in the bottom of the first.
It's a big adjustment when you see velocity come off of a pitcher. You've got to make adjustments as a hitter. You've got to be very patient in the box.
One bounces, but Jennings will stay put. And Morrow falls behind, 2 balls and a strike.
Really good job by Morrow behind the plate. Just keeping that ball in front.
And you talked about it, Destiny, a little bit, seeing that change of tempo. And how much of that in game one do you feel like can be attested to seeing multiple pitchers? I mean, this OU offense saw 3 BYU pitchers last night.
Yeah, and I think that's pretty typical. We've seen a lot of teams come in with that approach purposely. I think last night in this BYU defense, or pitching staff specifically, a couple of their pitchers are under pitch counts, so they're having to kind of mix in. But I think it's a good approach, whether or not you're on a pitch count or not, you're dealing with injuries or not. It's a good approach to have against this OU lineup.
Mara is one of the only pitchers on this BYU staff who did not enter the game last night. Looking to work out of a jam here as she fires the 3-2 and misses in the dirt. 2 walks in the inning. Delivered from Maras. And let's go ahead and take a look at our Riverwind keys to the game.
For BYU, they've got to limit the free passes. We've talked about that already. The walks are not going to help. It's going to put them in bad situations. And for OU, I'd love to see them pass the torch. I think last night we saw some timely hits that were able to put some runs on the board, but I'd love to see them capitalize on the freebies.
Kamoku trying to turn a pair, and Parker is going to beat it out. Kamoku making a good play up the middle to take care of Brito. That'll put runners at first and third and 2 outs for Kinsey Hansen. And you can see this BYU defense trying to put some things in order, preparing for the first and third. Ella Parker will take off. She leads the team in stolen bases. 13 for 14 on the season. Kinsey Hansen, an opportunity to tie this ball game up after the Sooners were punched in the top half of this inning, and it happened quick. BYU jumping on top after a lead-off double to start the game. And Mara's behind here, 2 balls and a strike. And Destiny, I want to go back to your key. Limit the free passes, and we've already seen 2 here in this inning.
Yeah, and last night we saw, a free pass and then a home run, a free pass, and, OU was really capitalizing on that. I'd like to see them manufacture their own, stuff on their own.
Jennings at third represents the tying run. Here comes the 2-1. Parker's going to take off. She is in a rundown in between first and third, and that will do it. BYU spoils the first and third play. Really look like a finished product, Destiny. It looks pretty awesome.
Looking good from the outside. Got some work underneath.
6, 7, 8. Due up for BYU is sophomore Maddie Udall, the DP. Phoenix, Arizona native, and has got a good swing. She sticking with the game plan of absolutely coming out hacking. BYU has been aggressive so far in game 2.
You know, after game 1, I think that's one thing that they're easily able to adjust.
That's hit well to the right side. Pickering's on her horse, and she's going to make the diving catch. Gotta love the smiles coming from the freshman. Stealing a hit away from Udall to bring up Kaylee Kamoku.
Pickering covering so much ground. You could see where she started and where that ball took her. Just laying it out.
And another opportunity here. Pickering back at the wall, but it's going to carry out of here. And there's that BYU power that we have been talking so much about. As with one swing of the bat, Kamoku makes it 2-zip Cougars. And we've known this BYU offense has power. They've got pop. We didn't see much of it last night. BYU making some adjustments at the plate.
Yes, you can definitely see that. I saw it in the first inning. They are just coming out attacking. Again, they have nothing to lose. She sees that ball down and out, and she's able to just send it opposite field. I mean, they've got nothing to lose. You might as well come in there and swing for the fence.
Sophomore Haley Morrow takes the first pitch she sees for strike 1. What kind of vibe you getting from the Sooners so far in this game, Destiny? It feels tense here at Love Field.
It feels very tense, but I feel like the tempo is not, I don't feel like they came out and set the tempo. I think BYU came out and attacked and has set the tempo at a quicker pace than what OU is typically comfortable with.
Big hack from Morrow.
In the first inning, you know, we see Agbayani come out with a double. We see a mishap from Brito. We see miscommunication from Jennings and Hodge. Those aren't things that you typically see with this OU defense.
Morrow stays alive, just got enough. Morrow, 195 hitter on the year. And nice location from May. Two twos popped up and gonna sneak out of play. Almost a great catch by a fan. We've seen some big time. We talk so much about the big time plays we see on the field. We've seen some big time plays in the stands here at Love Field.
Yes, we have seen some great plays.
He brings the 2-2 and just misses outside. Great discipline by Morrow, and one thing we've seen just in this at-bat, the river's not happening today.
But there is some consistency there, so that's good.
The 3-2 misses low, and Morrow draw a 1-out walk to bring up the senior, Aaliyah Agbayani. That is just the 18th walk delivered by May so far on the season. Not something we see often from Nicole. Agbayani shows bunt. Senior did not get the start in game one, but getting an opportunity here tonight. Her little sister, Ailana Agbayani, waits on deck. Coach Eakin wants to have a little chat.
It's a good opportunity to lay down a bunt, just move your runner, put some pressure on the defense.
And there's a good look at Coach Gordon Eakin in his 22nd season at BYU, and has led this program to numerous regionals, conference titles. In their first year in the Big 12, as this is popped up on the infield. Jennings is underneath it to glove it, and that's a big out. And you just said it, Destiny, find a way to move a runner, and that's not gonna get it done.
They've got to be able to produce runs. Just, again, you've got to pass the torch. I know we said that as the keys for OU, but when you're given an opportunity and you have runners on, BYU is pretty, they struggle a little bit moving runners.
This is laced to left field, but Riley Boone is gonna take care of it, but not after BYU. Exciting to see her bring some of that to the USA national team. Kinsey Hansen, a part of that group as well, and looking to get something moving offensively here for the Sooners as they trail BYU 2-0. And Mara has a hit here, no balls and 2 strikes.
I don't know about that call. That's that location that was kind of questionable. It's been a ball all day, so we'll see. Keep an eye on it.
Destiny, I think you and I would agree on this. Thing about strike zones, it just has to be consistent.
Yeah.
And it has to be established early. Just in the second inning here in this ball game, but wanting to see that strike zone get established is Kinsey Hansen. Lines it right back up the middle, and it's a leadoff single.
Great piece of hitting by Kinsey Hansen. Kind of just throwing that bat out there, finding a way to make contact.
Leadoff hit will bring up the freshman Cassidy Pickering, and had a heck of a night here last night in game 1. Hit a solo bomb and went 2 for 3. The freshman just has such poise at the plate.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed her. Just watching her settle in. She seems so confident in the box. Very comfortable.
The 0-2 is going to get away from Morrow. Hansen's going to take off, and the throw is not in time. Morrow getting worked behind the plate a little bit today.
She is getting worked, and that was a really great read by Kinsey Hansen, just getting out and seeing that ball just jump off Morrow and taking that opportunity. See, she never stopped her feet.
1-2 misses low. Sophomore catcher Haley Morrow has done a great job handling what a little bit of a young BYU pitching staff. And a mix of speeds is going to sit down Pickering on strikes to bring up Avery Hodge, but talk about making a pitch by Mares.
What a pitch. And a great count to do it in. Just keeping Pickering off balance. She was not expecting that whatsoever.
Lefty Avery Hodge lines it right back at Mares. And it's going to get thrown out at first base. Off the ricochet. And Lily Owens making a fantastic play.
See Coach Gasso looking to Fale steal for some confirmation on should we review that, should we not? Fale steal said no. We're gonna let that one go.
Hansen moves up to third on the play. And Gianna Mares thankfully looks to be okay because line drive right back at her. But what a heads up play by Lily Owens to make it 2 outs for BYU as Sydney Sanders stands in.
Close play.
And I think Coach Steele was right in saying, don't waste the review.
What a great job by Owens, like you said. Just heads up, coming up, throwing, keeping that ball on target.
Just no hesitation.
Yeah.
And you can't when you've got Avery Hodge going down the line.
It's got to be perfect.
So big time defensive play for BYU and an opportunity to get out of another jam. Here for Gianna Mares as she fires the 1-1. And Sydney Sanders, big night last night, 1 for 2, but hit the 3-run walk-off shot to end the ball game in run rule fashion in the 5th. The 2-1 is launched down the right field line. If it stays fair, it's gone, but just arches around that foul pole. And Mares, a strike away from getting out of back-to-back innings with runners in scoring position. She fires the 2-2. And foul tipped. Morrow not able to hang on to it. That would have been a big time out. But we'll do the 2-2 again. Sanders stays alive. Represents the tying run in this game. BYU has put up a run in each inning. Not a spot the Sooner teams used to being in often. Trailing 2-0 here in the 2nd. Ground ball to Agbayani. And that will do it. BYU works around another runner in scoring position.
They've done a really good job just coming in and swinging.
2-3-4 due up here in the 3rd as senior Maddie Bejarano stands in. Had an RBI sac fly back in the 1st and comes out hacking. And you said it earlier, Destiny, it feels like BYU has set the tempo of this game. And I feel like we're seeing it on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, I think it feels like OU's just kind of just trying to keep up with the pace of the game, and BYU's just coming out swinging. They're coming out aggressive.
little bit of extra zip behind that rise ball as May gets ahead, no balls and 2 strikes. Bejarano, a .344 hitter on the season. One of the many lefties in this lineup. Nicole May looking to hang the first 0 of this ball game. BYU put up a run in the first, a solo home run in the second to make it 2-0, and Bejarano staying alive. So the count remains no balls and 2 strikes, and just taking absolute hacks, and sometimes to me looking like at pitches that might be a little bit out of the zone.
Yeah, I think, you know, they're having to keep themselves alive until they get a good pitch that they can work with, but they're fouling some stuff off just to stay in the box. And Nicole May. A couple of free passes in this game as she fires the 1-2. Now, as we get deeper into this game, what type of adjustment do you want to see from May in the circle? I think for May, just work ahead in the counts. Get these hitters to chase and miss. I think we've seen a lot of chasing, but they're still fouling some stuff off. She's got to find the holes in their swings. And I think painting the corners, you know, I feel like she's either in the zone to where they can handle it, or it's a ball. She's got to find that in between.
Payoff pitch to Bejarano, misses outside, and it's a leadoff walk to start the third. And what an at-bat by Maddie Bejarano, working back from an 0-2 count to draw the walk. To bring up senior Violet Zavodnik. And that is the third free pass issued by May in this game. Zavodnik hit by a pitch back in the first inning. Was with the pitchers, it's Kinsey Hansen.
Yeah. And I mean, that is the 6th straight ball from Nicole May this inning.
Behind here, 2 balls and no strikes. Zavodnik laces this into left center field. It's going to get down. Bejarano is going to stand up at third as Zavodnik has a double, and BYU threatening again here in the third with runners at second and third. And going through the meat of this lineup, nobody out.
It's a really solid piece of hitting, just with the count and understanding that Nicole May has thrown quite a few balls up until that point, feeling confident enough to swing the bat in that count and really doing something with it, finding a gap out in left center.
To bring up Hunter Ava, and here comes associate head coach Jen Rocha to have a chat with May and this defense.
And I think with Kelly Maxwell, I didn't see as many swings. I didn't feel that they were as aggressive.
Maxwell throwing a 1-hit shutout in game 1. And you feel like BYU went back to the hotel, took a look at film, and said, listen, we've got to change this game plan a little bit. And we have seen it since pitch 1 from the Cougars. Absolutely aggressive and taking hacks. And Senior Hunter Ava, no different. Nicole May ahead here, no balls and 2 strikes, but Ava staying aggressive in the box. Nobody out, and runners at second and third. The 0-2 misses outside, but quality location.
Yeah, it's a good location for Nicole May. I think she's really got to find it here. She's got to find those spots that are being called, but not being fouled off.
And talk about a location. Nicole May spots up to sit down Hunter Ava on strikes. And there's a big time pitch coming from the senior.
Big time pitch and perfectly placed right over the river, freezing her up just a little bit.
It's such a huge out of Hunter Ava, who leads BYU in RBI at 49. Sooners not out of it yet, with a couple of ducks on the pond for Lily Owens. Owens 0 for 1 here tonight, but had the lone hit in game 1. And May behind here, 2 balls and no strikes.
This is a big opportunity for BYU to really get some safety runs. You want to see them get on the board a couple more times. They've got to score their runners. We talked a little bit about it yesterday, just how many runners they leave on base. They've got to be able to execute, score these 2 runs. Puts them in a really good spot against this OU offense.
Walking into this game here this evening, BYU had left 37 runners on base in their previous 5 games, as this is skied high to center field. Bejarano is tagging. She will take off. Here comes the throw, and Bejarano is safe at home plate. And the sacrifice fly from Lily Owens makes it 3-0 BYU. And really and truly, throw was on the money from Jada Coleman, but just textbook, not a lot you can do.
Yeah, there's nothing you could do about that. Deep fly ball. Jada Coleman played it really well, stayed behind the ball, kept her momentum coming into the play. Just too long of a throw to throw a runner like Bejarano out. It's a tough play.
Got to tip your hat. Lily Owens getting the job done with the sac fly, playing the game. And Cougars have at this point scored in every inning in this ball game. As sophomore Maddie Udall stands in, flew out to right field back in the second. I say flew out. Cassie Pickering robbed a hit from Maddie Udall back in the second. And Avery Hodge will take care of it for Oklahoma. And Mares has been solid in this game for BYU and worked around a couple jams, but has really set the tone for BYU in the circle. Riley Boone hitting .444 on the year. Shows bunt, it's gonna just roll foul. Like the idea, but not getting the execution.
I do like that idea. I think, you know, Mars has done a pretty good job of letting her defense work behind her. But that's a play we haven't seen them have to make yet. With the speed of Boone, putting something down like that, being in control, creating some momentum for this OU offense, that would have been huge.
Riley Boone trying to get a little bit of momentum in that Sooner dugout. It's been all Cougars so far, as this is laced into center field, and it's going to get down in front of Zavodnik, and Riley Boone is aboard with a leadoff single to bring up Jada Coleman.
Doesn't matter how you do it. Just get yourself on base, create some momentum. That's why she's in that 9 hole.
And Jada Coleman drew a walk to start the game back in the first, but that on base plus slugging, Jada Coleman, Jennings, Brito, Sanders, all leading. Unreal as you're looking through, but leading in the Big 12. And what this team does, not just with the power, but just finding ways to get on base.
And I mean, that's leading the Big 12. I don't know how you go into this as a pitcher, having to pitch to that lineup. It's just a never-ending cycle of who you have to face.
And getting all that production, Coleman, Jennings, Brito, 1, 2, 3 in the OU batting lineup. I'm going to talk about table setters. They got a few. And let's not even talk about the fact that Riley Boone in the 9 hole
also is a table setter.
Just hitting nearly 450. Coleman stays alive. Got a bit fooled.
That one kind of caught her off guard. Just put a bat on it. Stay alive.
Mares going through this Sooner lineup for the second time, and this is popped up to left field, and Bejarano is going to get under it, and huge out by the freshman Mares to sit down Jada Coleman. And I want to go back to one of your keys, Destiny, pass the torch. Not something we've seen the Sooners do so far in this ballgame.
Yeah, we have not seen a lot of it, really, last night either. We saw some timely hits with some freebies, but I'd love to see, you know, when Riley Boone gets on, Jada Coleman, keep him alive. Tiare Jennings, keep it going. Alyssa Brito.
Jennings laces this into center field, but Zavodnik flash in the leather, and just like that, BYU's got 2 outs on the board, and Alyssa Brito at the plate, but I've got to say, I've really been impressed with the freshman.
She has done a really good job. She's produced quite a few pop-ups, allowing her defense to work with her.
Brito drew a walk back in the first inning. 2 walks delivered by Mares in the game so far. Both came in the first, was able to work around both, and has settled in nicely. But behind here, 2 balls and no strikes. Boone at first base. 2-0. And Morrow's behind here, 3 balls and no strikes.
I think Brito's got the green light here. What do you think?
I like where your head's at. I think down 3-0, maybe not. Move anyway, as it's a 4-pitch walk to Alyssa Brito to bring up Ella Parker. And I feel like we've talked about this ad nauseum, Destiny, but if there has been one issue with BYU pitching, it has been free passes. 3 delivered by Mares here in this game. But as a pitcher, you hate to see the 2-out walk, especially after getting 2 quick outs of Coleman and Jennings. But an opportunity here for Ella Parker, who represents the tying run in this game. Parker grounded in to a fielder's choice in the first inning.
That is one thing Coach Eakin really talked a lot about, is he knows that there's quite a few walks given up amongst his pitching staff. He said, you know, in order for us to have a chance, we've got to limit the freebies.
The walk to Brito marks Mares' 49th walk on the year. And behind here, 2 balls and a strike to the freshman Parker. And a dangerous place to be as catcher Haley Morrow heads out to have a chat with her pitcher. And you can't blame her. I mean, Mares has been the BYU associate head coach, but as we talk about the Sooners trying to gain momentum, same thing for BYU. Mares has really worked around some jams and has kept this offense at bay, and it is another walk in the inning to load the bases for Kinsey Hansen.
We talk about the momentum, like you said, on both sides of the plate. It can really set something, get something going for this OU offense. But if Mares is able to put a hitter like Kinsey Hansen away in this situation, that will fire up this defense, send them right back into the dugout, and give them some momentum into their next at-bats.
Only 2 hits for OU on the night. Hansen has one of them, and this is a dribbler in front of Owens. Boone is going to score. No one is able to make a play anywhere, and it's an infield RBI hit for Kinsey Hansen. And Sooners are on the board.
Kind of an interesting play here. Kinsey just had a little miss hit, but caught Owens way off guard, trying to cover the bag and then realizing, I've got to defend that. That's my ball.
And Owens, and rightfully so, bases loaded, 2 outs. Kinsey Hansen at the plate, playing nearly even a little bit behind third base. Not a lot you can do. And just like that, it's 3-1 as Pickering stands in with bases loaded and 2 outs. Pickering a strikeout victim back in the second. Sooners sparking a rally with 2 outs. And Ella Parker representing the tying run at second base. And Mara's really starting to fall behind hitters. It's a dangerous place to live.
Just getting a little antsy in the circle, feeling the pressure. This environment is erupting.
Mars has thrown 60 pitches in this ball game, nearly 50-50 on balls and strikes. moment here. Bases loaded, full count, 2 outs. Payoff pitch from Mares, floats in for ball 4. And Pickering draws the walk to make it 3-2. I'll say this, you can't get much more anticlimactic than these 2 runs that have been scored. But a good at-bat by the freshman. Avery Hodge, an opportunity to tie this ball game up. Hit the ball hard her first at bat.
I feel like Mares has really accepted this challenge. We saw her body language kind of change from comfortable to a little frustrated. Now I'm seeing her really get competitive out there.
And ahead here, no balls and 2 strikes. And Mares was really ticked off about the ball 4 call to Pickering.
Yeah.
You could see it. And it was a gutsy pitch. Off speed, 3-2. She just threw the off speed again in for a called strike. Not in much of a different location as this is skied high to left field. Bejarano is going to get underneath it.
My pitching, so I'd love to see Kirsten Deal be able to kind of come in and shut that down and allow them a chance to score some more runs.
And May struggling to find the zone as Kamoku skies it high to right field, and 1 pitch, 1 out for Kirsten Deal as she has entered this game. And looking to be the stopper for the Sooners, the Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And Deal has been tremendous this season, 8-0 on the season. And more than that, we've seen Deal in just a number of different roles. Starting games, coming in out of the bullpen, and she's really been good when she's just been thrust into games and needing to kind of be that spark.
Yeah, I think most of the pitching staff, I think Kelly Maxwell's really been able to show herself in a full game.
Hit well to left field and off the wall. Here comes Morrow, and it's a double. And another extra base hit for BYU.
See that pitch just left up in the zone. That's a miss from Kirsten Deal.
I'll say this, playing it off the wall, Jada Coleman textbook. Trying to get the throw in, throw a little bit errant, but if that throws on the money, we could have had a play at second.
Great job by Jada Coleman playing it off the wall. I think the throw needed to be a little bit more under control, but I think playing it off the wall, and we talked about it a little bit, they don't get to practice here. So understanding how that wall plays off, Jada Coleman did a great job putting herself in position to throw as she's receiving that ball off the wall.
Aaliyah Agbayani, a 9-hole hitter, popped out to short in her first at bat. But Deal behind here, 2 balls and no strikes. Deal entering this game, trying to keep this BYU offense at bay, scoring every inning, putting up 1 run in the first, the second, and the third. And the Sooners trail 3-2. And if we look at anything, Destiny, on both sides of the ball, BYU pitching, OU pitching, working behind in the count has been killer.
Yeah, we've seen that all game long.
And another free pass issued as Agbayani is hit by the pitch. And that'll roll it back over to the top of the lineup in Ailana Agbayani. Ailana Agbayani, the younger sister of Aaliyah, who's at first base. And the leading hitter for BYU, the runner in scoring position, and you got to be careful here as Kinsey Hansen heads out to have a chat with Deal.
They've got to find the zone. And it's tough because you know that they're coming out swinging. They're protecting themselves. Any pitch that's even near the zone, they're wanting to foul it off. They're being so aggressive. But Deal's got to come in and work ahead in the count. She's got to trust her defense.
4 free passes delivered by OU pitching here so far in this game. 2 walks and 2 hit by pitch. And Nicole May got the start. And just having a hard time, not necessarily finding the zone, but hitting those quality spots. Deal fires the 1-1. BYU looking to answer the 2 runs that OU put up in the bottom of the 3rd. And in a good spot to do it. Ailana Agbayani. Agbayani hitting .419 on the year. Had a double and came around to score back in the 1st and really set the tone for BYU in this game in her first at bat.
Yeah, coming in, sending that double to left center field, really setting that tone. That's not something we saw yesterday. So I think, and we talked a little bit about the tempo and how quick everything kind of happened in that 1st inning. I feel like they're still trying to catch up to the timing of everything and the tempo that's been set. BYU offense has not taken a break. I feel like every foul ball is very aggressive. Everybody's on their toes.
Payoff pitch from Deal. Line shot, and that's going to get down. One run will score. Agbayani slides into second for her 2nd double of the day. And BYU just keeps striking. Puts up their 4th run in the ballgame. They have now scored in every inning here at Love's Field to make it 4-2 BYU.
A really good piece of hitting. We saw her go opposite field with her 1st double of the game, now sending it to right center with that inside pitch, just seeing the ball so well, but working the count to get that pitch. Agbayani did a great job.
That is her 24th RBI on the season, and that'll bring up senior Maddie Bejarano with a pair in scoring position. Bejarano, a big sac fly, and drew a walk.
We'll have to look through these game notes, but I can't think of a game that OU allowed a run in every inning.
It's been a while. And I'll say this, BYU absolutely just having a good time with what they're doing. I mean, I'm watching the dugout and every single Cougar up on their feet and invested. The 1-2 to Bejarano. Little squib. Play at the plate is going to throw out Agbayani by a couple feet. And Sooners get a little bit of a gift there. And what would be Violet Zavodnik's spot. And Turlington on the year, a .240 hitter. getting an opportunity here to extend this BYU lead. And what has been the story for every Cougar that comes to the plate? Hack and first pitch.
Yeah. I think with this OU pitching staff, there's not a lot of wild pitches. There's not a lot of bad pitches out of the zone. So if they can attack and find a way to connect slightly, foul something off.
Deal looking to minimize the damage here in the fourth, as BYU's gotten one back to make it 4-2.
Thought that was going to come back in our booth.
We were ready. We were going to make the play.
Me and Plank were going to fight for it.
Tristan Turlington behind here, 1 ball and 2 strikes as Deal looking to leave a couple stranded. And the runner takes off, trying to steal and catch Deal sleeping. And Deal makes the play at third to throw out Agbayani. And it looks like Coach Eakin is going to challenge this, and that's exactly what we're going to see. Agbayani would have been the 3rd out in the inning. Call on the field is out. And Kirsten Deal heads up play in the circle.
Yeah, I'm loving the gutsiness out of this BYU offense, just being so aggressive in all aspects of offense. You don't see a team come out and do something like that. That delayed steal to an OU defense, that is bold. Kind of looks from this angle like she might have got in there.
It's a tight play. There's another look we've got. There's a shot that Agbayani got her hand in there. We'll see if we've got any other vantage points.
I'd love to see Hansen kind of identify that. Agbayani was way out in no man's land. I mean, she had a big lead, kind of giving it away as Kinsey Hansen released that ball back to Deal. She's got to see that.
And Deal spinning quickly defensively, and here's the call, and it is going to stand. Agbayani thrown out at third. Deal with the heads-up play, but BYU continues the scoring streak, puts another. It has been a roller coaster of a game, as BYU is up 4-2 and has scored every inning. And Sydney Sanders looking to get something going here in the bottom of the fourth. And ground ball through the 5-6 hole. And it'll be a lead-off single for Sid Sanders. To bring up Riley Boone. And we're going to see a pinch runner for Sanders. A good piece of hitting from the junior, using the dirt, as Maya Bland is set to pinch run, and Riley Boone looking to get some things done offensively for the Sooners. Started the rally and came around to score back in the third. And ground ball. Ava's going to take it herself. And Bland to move up into scoring position. Ava didn't even look to get the lead runner, but Maya Bland off immediately. Right play.
Just got to get the out. Maya Bland, with the speed she's got, the speed Boone's got, you just got to get the for sure out.
Jada Coleman comes to the plate, flew out to left field back in the third. And Mara's pulling that off speed out of her pocket, and you can kind of see the frustration from the BYU battery of not getting the call on the changeup.
Yeah, I think that's a pitch that she's kind of fighting for that one. She wants these hitters to chase.
Saw that same pitch in a bases loaded situation in the third. The changeup called a ball to Cassidy Pickering, which brought a run around to score, but Mara is really trying to find the strike zone with that changeup, and she's nibbling with it. It's close as Coleman shows bunt, and bunt straight through, and Mara's ahead here, a ball and 2 strikes. This ball laced to left field. Bejarano is going to make the catch right in front of the warning track. And struck well, but right at Bejarano, positioned perfectly.
She was, barely had to move out there. Really well hit ball by Jada Coleman, just right at Bejarano.
And just like that, 2 quick outs to follow up the leadoff single as Jennings stands in. Maya Bland at second base. And Jennings looking for her first hit of the night, lined out to center field in the third, grounded out into a fielder's choice back in the first. And Mares behind here, 2 balls and no strikes.
Mara is giving up that single to Sanders and facing 3 seniors. She can put this inning away. That's a big accomplishment for the freshman.
And Mares has left runners stranded every single inning and works her way back into this count to even it up at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
There's that pitch, taking some speed off. She's been trying to find the zone with that pitch.
Hit well to center field, and it's gonna get out of here. Tiare Jennings ties this ball game up with 1 swing of the bat. And Sooner fans are fired up, as they should be. Tiare Jennings getting the job done with 2 outs and 2 strikes.
And there is nothing you can do about that. Tiare just sending that pitch right out. That is a definite miss by Mares. You cannot afford to throw a pitch like that to Tiare Jennings. Really having to manufacture so much by finding the gaps and working the base paths. It's that one swing, that one miss.
That home run marks Jennings' 16th on the year, seeing that RBI number continue to climb, her 51st on the season. And Mares seeing that pitch count get to 80 again. The ball to strike ratio almost 50-50. It was behind here, 3 straight balls to Alyssa Brito. You know, you hear the term, Destiny, sometimes effectively wild. Mares at times has just been lights out hammering the zone, and then all of a sudden we'll see 4, 5, 6 balls in a row.
I think a lot more is going into her performance. I think now the tied ball game, it's almost like you've got to start over. We're seeing a lot more energy out of this OU dugout.
And that walk to Brito is the 6th in this ball game for Mares. Agbayani, the starting shortstop for BYU. We've talked about it so much. This BYU pitching staff has been plagued by injury. A staff that was 8 deep is now down to 4, one of those being Agbayani. And a couple of defensive shifts for BYU as Haley Morrow goes to shortstop. And senior Macy Simmons in behind the plate. And Agbayani, as we mentioned, starting shortstop, leading hitter for this BYU team, but can spin it a little bit too.
Yeah, Agbayani is about 62 miles per hour. She's able to spot the ball in and out. Curve, screw, and drop ball. So we'll see a good mix here. It's funny because Coach Eakin really just referred to her as the shortstop who can pitch. So it'll be good. Excited to see what she's working with.
I think that's selling her a little bit short.
Yeah, I do too.
The shortstop that can pitch and, I don't know, hit 420.
She can kind of do a little bit of everything.
No big deal.
Let's see what she could do to Ella Parker here.
Seventh walk delivered by BYU pitching to bring up Kinsey Hansen. Haley Morrow, as we mentioned, has moved to short. Morrow has started both games behind the plate. And Macy Simmons in behind the plate. And we've talked so much as Kinsey Hansen stands in. We've talked so much about this BYU pitching staff and having to get creative as far as having arms in the circle, but that also, I mean, it wreaks havoc on your defense too when you're having to move your shortstop into the circle.
Yeah, they're definitely battling some adversity. 2 of their pitchers are on a pitch count, unable to throw full games.
And ground ball back to Agbayani. Feels it like a shortstop. And for Sooner pitching in this game, and BYU has been relentless at the plate. Tristan Turlington entered this game in the 4th in a pinch hit situation. And her at bat cut short after Agbayani was thrown out trying to delay steal, I should say, but thrown out at 3rd.
Two wild pitches. And Turlington just willing to swing. I mean, they are just aggressive. If that ball is anywhere near the zone, they are hacking. We just saw 2 wild pitches. You'd think, maybe I'm not going to swing at this next one.
And Turlington taking the 2-1 right down Broadway.
And
Deal even it up at 2-2. And, you know, Destiny, you talk about how aggressive this team has been, and it hasn't mattered. It hasn't mattered the count. It hasn't mattered the situation. And we're not just seeing the aggressiveness in the box, but trying to apply pressure on the base paths.
yeah, BYU looks like a different team from yesterday, what we saw. Not super aggressive.
Good location from Deal, just misses outside. We have not seen that pitch be a strike all day.
I feel the fans getting a little frustrated with Jerry Jones behind the plate. Seeing a little bit more inconsistency the last 2 innings.
Hit well to left field, and it's going to go directly over the foul pole. Long foul ball for Turlington, and Deal may have gotten away with one there.
Yeah, Deal. Got to recognize that. You cannot afford a miss here. Keep the ball down. We see the power in Turlington. That was a long foul ball.
And Turlington does not have a home run on the year, and just missed one by a few feet. But we're going to do the 3-2 again. Deal rocks and fires, misses in the dirt, and it's a leadoff walk to start the 5th. And that'll bring up senior Hunter Ava.
Kind of a rough outing for this pitching staff. Quite a few walks.
3 walks delivered by OU pitching today. 2 hit by pitches, and you know, again, we've talked so much about the free passes. 5 in total. We've also seen 1 defensive error. So I mean, you lump all that together, that's 6 base runners. Missing ground balls, and that's what you need against an offense like BYU, right? Good power. We've seen a lot of outs in the air so far in this game. All of their hits have been line drives. Seen a ball leave the yard as well. I mean, it's a team that has power and puts the ball in the air. So Keeney, a good matchup here, trying to force these hitters to put the ball on the ground and let this stellar OU defense work. And BYU gone to the bench as well, as Lauren Flanders is pinch running at first base. Keeney falls behind here, 2 balls and a strike. What has been the story for Sooner pitching and BYU pitching? I mean, let's be real, so many hitters counts in this ball game.
See Keeney really trying to paint that inside corner, get that call. Jerry Jones behind the plate has not been that consistent towards the, I guess, the last 2 innings of this game. So we've got to be careful with what we're trying to do here.
Another walk delivered, and Ava is aboard to bring up Lily Owens. Flanders moves into scoring position. 6th free pass delivered by Sooner pitching here tonight. 4th walk, 2 hit by pitches. And Sooners in a jam again as BYU threatens, as they have done every single inning in this game, with runners at first and second and nobody out. As Lily Owens stands in. Owens 0 for 1, had a sac fly back in the third. And Keeney missing big.
Yeah.
Good job by Kinsey Hansen.
She's got to find the zone here. First hitter she faced, and Hunter Alva saw 4 balls, 1 foul ball.
And BYU going to the bench again, Abby Gillespie. Pinch running at first. It's the 1-1, misses low.
We see her consistently missing on that pitch, that down and in. I'd love to see an adjustment here. She's got to find a way to get that ball up.
This is popped up on the infield right at Keeney. And that's a big out. And a hitter's count to sit down Owens. Now to bring up the DP, Maddie Udall. Udall 0 for 2 here tonight. But a .311 hitter on the season. Four walks here tonight to make it 79. You add the 2 hit by pitches, but out of character for this staff. And Udall taking a hack, but Keeney hitting a pretty good spot.
Yeah, really good spot. And Udall just a little bit late to contact here. But we see her slowly trying to find her timing with the foul ball she's got going to the right side of the field. She's trying to get that timing down and find a good pitch. That's what Coach Eakin would like to see. I mean, all of his hitters have been in there battling the counts.
You know, Destiny, I feel like we've talked so much about how aggressive this BYU offense has been in this game, but they've also been composed. And ground ball to the right side. Avery Hodge is going to go for the lead runner and try to turn 2. Not quite in time.
We may see a review here.
And Udall beat it out as Kayla Kamoku is due up. Avery Hodge so smooth defensively, but Coach Eakin having a quick conversation with home plate umpire Jerry Jones. Runners at first and third, 2 outs for BYU.
Shocked they didn't ask for a review. We see the coaches down in the dugout signing for the headset.
Move it on, and Keeney ahead. No balls and a strike to Kamoku. It was kind of an interesting little pause there, Destiny. I agree. We saw some of the coaches in the dugouts kind of signing as Udall takes off. 1st and 3rd. Here comes the throw. And Flanders is safe at the plate. And the scoring streak continues for BYU. What a jump by Flanders on the throw, and BYU takes the lead 5-4.
And that's a perfectly executed 1st and 3rd play. You draw the attention from your catcher. I mean, there was no question there. She was safe at home. Just
a great slide by Flanders.
Great slide, but a little bit of a delay from Hodge. And really Kinsey getting that ball out of her hand for Hodge to make the play back in time. They were beat.
BYU putting up a run every inning to regain the lead here in the 5th. Two. The count runs full.
And that's such a tough play because as you're on defense, you have it made up in your mind what you're doing in that situation. In that situation, Hansen knew she was throwing to Hodge. I think if Kinsey would have looked over at 3rd, she would have seen the break.
That walk is the 3rd delivered in this inning. Puts the free pass number at 7. So far in the game, and gonna bring up Haley Morrow. Morrow, 1 for 1, had a double and came around to score. Drew a walk back in the 2nd. Keeney looking to get right in the circle. Let's take another look at the 1st and 3rd play by BYU. And Avery Hodge cutting through on the play.
Yeah.
Working to get rid of it quickly, but the angle. And ground ball up the middle. Here comes Udall. The throw from Coleman. And Udall is safe at the plate. BYU strikes again, makes it 6-4. And Coleman fires in. Close play at the plate.
Really close play, perfectly executed by Jada Coleman. What a great throw coming in and just not in time. Again, this BYU offense is doing such a great job piecing these runs together, being aggressive on the base paths, and their slides have been phenomenal. They are really working away from the tags. They're doing a great job on the base paths.
Aaliyah Agbayani stands in. And you took the words right out of my mouth, Destiny. The slide. And we've seen it a couple times. We've seen it at the plate on the 1st and 3rd. We've seen it on sacrifice flies, a couple stolen bases. This is a BYU team. We've talked so highly about what they're doing with the sticks. They're doing the little things well.
Yeah.
On the base paths.
You've got to execute the little things on offense if you're going to give up the freebies on defense.
And this should do it. As Sooners trail 6-4, and I feel like we've seen a little bit of it all as Pickering stands in. And BYU going back to the starter, and Gianna Mares Mares was pulled from this game, but has re-entered. And again, Destiny, there are so many things to unpack with this ball game.
It has been a lot more active than what you typically see here at Love's Field. There's a lot more action, a lot more runners, a lot more base hits, a lot more defensive plays having to be made. And I like the idea of bringing Mares back in. I feel like she just needed a break. She needed to get out of the situation she was in. But I think she's a competitor. She looks fierce out on the mound. She wants to be there. She wants to finish this out.
And Mares, again, if anything has been an issue, it has been the walks and working behind in counts. But I'm with you, Destiny, just the competitiveness coming from Mares, and that has bled over into every aspect of BYU's game here tonight.
They are not afraid. They came out swinging. There has been quite a few freebies given up by Mares, but she's been able to hold them to 4 runs. 2 of them coming from one swing of the bat. That was a missed pitch by Mares.
Agbayani goes back to short, who was in the circle last inning, and another walk delivered by Mares, and we've said it over and over and over. And it hasn't just been Mares, it has been all over in the circle tonight as far as free passes go. But another walk delivered to bring up what would be Avery Hodges' spot, but we are going to see Alina Torres in the pinch hitting role. And that is the 7th walk by Mares here tonight. And Torres, 366 on the year.
Both teams giving up tons of freebies.
And Hannah Core into pinch run at first base. Sooners look at a chip away. BYU up 6-4. Torres has seen some time in the starting lineup. Hodge getting the start at second base tonight. And as we've seen so much tonight, a lot of meetings in the circle, and rightfully so.
Couple hit by pitches on their end. Quite a few walks.
13 walks combined between both teams in this game. A couple of hit by pitches as well. Mares finds the zone.
Coach Eakin is very positive about their offense. I think the biggest concern coming to Norman was limiting the free passes and playing the solid defense. I feel like they've been pretty good on defense.
Yep.
In the chances that they're given to make some plays, but the walks.
Juarez behind here, 3 balls and a strike. And counter run full.
It's tough coming to Norman, playing against an offense like OU. You don't necessarily want to throw a strike. It's dangerous.
Sooners just 5 hits on the evening. As the 3-2 loops in and just misses inside. Back-to-back walks for Mares as she has re-entered this game. And that'll bring up Sydney Sanders. Runners at first and second, nobody out. Torres at first represents the tying run in this ball game. Sanders 1 for 2 here tonight, had a single back in the 4th and came around to score. And Cora's going to take off and get thrown out at third base as she tries to take third on the ball in the dirt and commits the cardinal sin of getting thrown out at third.
You've got to be sure. I like the aggressiveness, I like the thought, but you've got to be sure.
And it was no doubt as Cora was thrown out by a good 2 feet. And you saw a little bit of emotion from Coach Gasso.
It's frustrating.
I mean, this has been a game of mistakes. Plain and simple.
That's something, when Hannah Core is given that opportunity to be a pinch runner,
And line drive, and it's a double. Norman, Sooners trail 6-4. DJ Sanchez along with Destiny McElroy as Carly Keeney is looking to settle some things down for the Sooners, but has a tough way to go as she is going through the top half and heart of this Cougar lineup. And Ailana Agbayani. And line drive to left field, and Agbayani is aboard.
She is having herself a day, making plays defensively, being called upon in the circle, 2 doubles on the day.
Three for 4 night for Agbayani. Again, doing a little bit of it all. Just got BYU out of a jam as Bejarano lays down the bunt and executed perfectly to move Agbayani up into scoring position.
They're doing the little things well. Bejarano just having to move her runner. Perfectly executed bunt. It's not a ball that any defender could pick up and get the lead runner. Perfectly placed.
And Lauren Flanders, who pinch ran last inning, will stay in this ball game. Shows bunt, but fouls it back. So many lefties in this BYU lineup. Flanders, one of them. A .333 hitter on the season. And we've talked a lot about BYU and the power. I mean, multiple doubles in this game, home run as well, but they have also executed the short game. And Flanders a slapper. But BYU just continuing to find ways to put pressure on this defense.
Just aggressive. They're swinging a lot. Swinging early in the count, often.
Flanders stays alive. Keeney ahead here, no balls and 2 strikes. Flanders continuing to battle in the box. BYU leader in RBI on deck, and Hunter Ava.
Flanders just fouling everything off, just keeping herself alive. This would be a good opportunity for Keeney to mix in some speeds.
Well, change the eyes, right? I
Yeah.
mean, 0-2, multiple foul balls coming from the slapper.
She's got some room to work with. No balls here.
Change quadrants. There it is. A 1-2 is going to get down in front of Boone. And Flanders, a 1-out single to put runners at first and third for BYU's RBI leader, Hunter Ava. And Ava enters this game with 49 RBI, and a conversation being had by third base umpire Sergio Villarreal and home plate umpire Jerry Jones. And they're going to say that Flanders was out of the box. Agbayani is going to be placed back at second base, and Flanders is out.
That is a play, from my understanding, that will not be reviewed. It cannot be reviewed.
And just like that, tables have turned, and Ava gets jammed, and the Sooners hang the first quick turn of events as BYU was knocking on the door, and a call overturned, and Flanders stepping on the plate.
Yeah, I mean, there's no question there. Umpire down at first base, Chris Neighbors, able to identify that without even having to hear from OU on that. Great call, but you've got to stay in the box.
And in what felt like a huge moment for BYU, quickly got turned on its head. And Carly Keeney hung the first 0 of the game.
Yeah, it's just a momentum killer. It's tough because great hit. She had a great at-bat. She fouled off a ton of pitches to get herself on base. Just got to be able to control the mechanics and stay in the box there.
And Gianna Maris behind here, 2 balls and no strikes. And as we've noticed, and Dolly, a much different look than Mares. But as BYU staff showing the confidence they have in their young pitchers here tonight. And walks, a little bit of an issue for Dolly in game 1. This ground ball is going to get through as Riley Boone has her second base hit of the night. To roll it back over to Jada Coleman.
Boone is just seeing the ball so well. That's not typically a good pitch to really work with, but finding her way on base. You see that ball a little up in the zone, taking her hand path up to keep the ball down. Just working her way through the infield to find herself on base.
And Coleman looking for her first hit of the night. Has hit the ball hard. Back in the third, flew out to left, hit a line shot right at Bejarano, who was in left field at the time, but seeing the ball well, just not able to get anything to fall. And Dolly in a pitcher's count here, no balls and 2 strikes. It popped up on the infield, and Agbayani will take care of it, and Jada Coleman is retired for the 3rd time here tonight. And Kate Dolly, a gutsy pitch coming in on the hands of Jada Coleman in 0-2.
I like it though.
I'm with you.
I like, you've got to do whatever it takes. Keeping the ball in the zone is tough, but finding a pitch where they'll swing and it's not going to be great contact.
Jennings, a big moment back in the 4th, where she hit a 2-run bomb to tie this game at 4. And BYU followed it up with a crooked number of their own. Dolly rocks and fires, and this gets away. Boone is going to move up to second base on the wild pitch. And Dolly behind here, 3 balls and no strikes. Runner at second, 1 out. And it's a 4-pitch walk to Jennings. 9th to 9.
Almost took off on that, not realizing there's no one behind her. Stay at second base.
Alyssa Brito comes to the plate. Brito, 3 walks here tonight. Of the 9, 3 of them belong to Alyssa Brito. That ball, 5 straight balls. And here are the Big 12 walk leaders as far as pitchers go. Mares, 54 on the season, 8 of those tallied up here tonight. And Kate Dolly in the top 4 as well. And you know, we've talked about it a ton, Destiny, as Dolly's behind here, 2 balls and no strikes. I feel like we see the youth of this BYU staff a little bit. Seeing a little bit of everything. And the 2-0 is in for a called strike. You know, when you mentioned that, Destiny, talking about how this is a team that is used to trying to outscore teams, if you look at some of the games they've won and some of the games they've lost, I mean, it is winning games 17-15. And a big change of speeds, fools Burrito to even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. But this BYU team is winning games by outscoring people, but they're also losing games. They lost a game back on April 9th, 12-10 to Utah Valley. So,
and one thing, I mean, they've given OU 8 walks, and they've only allowed 4 runs on the board.
And popped up in foul territory. Ava is underneath it to make the catch. And 2 outs here in the 6th. And Ava doing a good job. Had to go a long way for that ball, playing behind first base. To bring up the freshman Ella Parker. And we have seen this all game tonight. Sooners getting the leadoff batter on, whether it be a walk or a hit. And then 2 quick outs.
Yeah. They have not capitalized on the leadoff runners or leadoff batters getting on walks. I mean, again, there's been 8 walks in this game and only 4 runs have been scored.
Hit well to left field, but Flanders is underneath it, and BYU works around another lead-off hit. It's going to rout the Bears in a run rule as well. We're still going here in Norman. In the 5-6 hole, not in time. And Lily Owens is aboard. Her first hit of the night. And BYU continuing to find ways to get on base any way they can. A tough play for Jennings in the 5-6 hole.
Really tough play. She had to cover some ground there, but having to come up and make that play, got to be on point, got to be quick.
That is the 9th hit for BYU here tonight, out hitting the Sooners 9-6. As Udall shows bunt, Hansen is going to get the lead runner at second base. And that's a big time play from the catcher. And the bunt not executed tremendously.
Yeah, really good job by Kinsey Hansen, just coming out of the box, barehanding that ball.
And Hansen taking a moment in a little bit of pain. You kind of see her going down to that knee.
She's getting worked back there. She's having a lot of play.
As Kayla Kamoku stands in, and Kamoku 1 for 2 here tonight. Had a solo home run in the 2nd, drew a walk back in the 5th. Keeney looking to keep this game in check and give the Sooners a chance in the bottom half. Little check swing, and they're going to say Kamoku held. I think she did. It has been all energy coming from that BYU dugout since the first pitch of this ball game. Nearing the 3-hour mark as this is lifted down the right field line and out of play into the bullpen as Hannah Core gave chase. But rolling over the 2 hour and 40-minute mark with this game here tonight.
I don't know if we've seen a 3-up, 3-down inning.
We have not on either side of the ball. As a 2-2, this is low and in to run the count full. Payoff pitch from Keeney, laced down the left field line, fair. And Kamoku has herself a 2-hit night. Make it 10 hits for the Cougars to bring up Haley Morrow. And teams combined here tonight. This is outrageous. 15 walks, 15 hits. Kamoku's makes it 16 hits.
I mean, that is unbelievable.
The fact that there's only 10 runs on the board combined, and line drive is gonna be spoiled as the throw gets away, and here comes the runner, and she will score on the air by Keeney. Cougars make it 7-4. Carly Keeney an opportunity to get out of the inning. Kamoku dead to rights at first on the line drive, and wild throw. Second error of the night committed by the Sooners.
There is just a ton happening. I mean, it was a good throw to Sanders. She just seems to be trying to get out. Oh, she overran the throw. In that situation, you'd want to see Keeney kind of lead Sanders back to the bat.
And Aaliyah Agbayani stands in.
It's tough. I feel like you haven't seen this OU defense having to perform so much in a game. We've seen some, some of these plays have really shed some light on some things that they've got to focus on. They've been exposed a little bit on first and third plays. We've seen some overthrows. We've seen some tags that I'd like to see. You got to expect that the runners are going to go to the outside part of the bag. You got to prepare for that.
BYU exposing what has been one of the cleanest, probably the cleanest defense in the country.
Yeah.
The 2-2 is laced off of the Sooner dugout, and a little bit of a scary moment as a couple of the Sooners were standing in that opening. Everyone looks to be okay. Checking the reflexes in the dugout. But Agbayani stays alive, and big at bat here for Keeney. This is hit well to right center field. Off the wall, a run will score, and Agbayani has herself an RBI double to make it 8-4 BYU. And roll the lineup back over to the top.
I mean, they are having themselves a time. Just coming out and being aggressive. That ball was just left right over the plate.
Keeney, 2-strike spot as Agbayani laces the first pitch. She sees down the line to score her sister to make it 9-4. BYU absolutely hammering at the plate. Their 12th hit on the night, and Agbayani has a 4-hit night, going 4 for 5.
Incredible. I think this OU defense is just really not used to having to make so many plays. And this offense, I haven't seen a team come out.
Aaron looking to settle things down and keep this game in striking distance.
Yeah, you know, there's been a lot of moving parts to this game. BYU has come out just, they've shown something that not a lot of teams have come out and shown to OU. But offensively, OU hasn't done much either. They have been given so many opportunities. They've put 4 runs on the board, and that just doesn't mix well when you're also given some freebies. You've got 2 errors. You've given up collectively 7 free passes.
"11 hits from BYU here tonight." I misspoke in saying 12 earlier, but 11. And Guerin, a little bit of a different look, spins the ball really well. As this is skied high to right field, and that'll do it, but not before BYU and set to lead it off here. But you know, when you think about it from a pitching standpoint, one of the things that you always talk about and you always think about is take care of the leadoff batter of the inning.
Yeah.
And BYU pitchers have not done that tonight, and it's one of those stats that you track. It's one of those things you pay attention to, and it is so difficult to win a ball game when your pitcher is putting on the leadoff runner of the inning every inning.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing the fact that BYU has held OU to 4 runs knowing they've had the leadoff hitter on every inning, and literally every inning, as Kinsey Hansen is aboard with a lead-off single. 7 for 7 are the Sooners in getting the leadoff on this game. Now to bring up Cassidy Pickering. And that is Hansen's 3rd hit here tonight. Hansen, a 3 for 4 night. And it looks like we're going to see a pinch runner here for the captain. And Riley Ludlam. And I feel like this is a strategic move from Coach Gasso as well. If the Sooners are able to tie this up and this game extends, Ludlam can also go behind the plate.
Yeah, yeah.
But a lot of work to do if that's going to be the case, as the Sooners trail 9-4. And Pickering has drawn 2 walks here tonight, been stranded both times. And BYU pitcher Kate Daly, the freshman, looking to shut this game out and close the door. Just misses inside.
Those are good pitches.
Catcher Haley Morrow heading out to have a chat. And I'm with you, Destiny. Pretty good location.
Yeah, you see Daly kind of laughing and sense a little frustration on those calls. And again, it's tough. You've got to pound the zone. don't want to walk anybody in this situation.
You know, and I feel like, Destiny, something we haven't spoken about a lot, that I feel like is part of this. I mean, we've talked, people are probably tired of hearing us say it. There have been a lot of walks in this game. But it's not because the strike zone has been squeezed.
Right.
It's not. I feel like the river has not been there all game. Coupled with, if you're not consistently working ahead in counts and hammering the zone, you don't get the river.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how it goes. The 2-2 is struck well to center field, but not going to be enough as Zavadnik gloves it for the first out of the inning. And BYU is 2 outs away from picking up the win. As Alina Torres comes to the plate. Torres drew a walk back in the 5th. And a big hack from Torres as Daly fools her on the off speed.
Really good pitch. You can come out starting with that. It could be pretty effective. We didn't see too many of those today. That's that pitch that they want, that call.
It's a good location.
Yeah, we've seen it a lot tonight.
Has not been a strike consistently. As Daly fires the 1-1. Hayden Amaro doing a good job behind the plate. Spent a couple batters at short. And has gone back behind the plate as Coach Gordon Eakin out to have a conversation with first base umpire Chris Neighbors. A lot of movement in this game. And call's gonna stay as it was, and it's the right call. Ludlam not getting caught, as so many have this season. But I've got to say, you know, BYU 2 outs away from putting away the Sooners here in Norman. It's worth taking a look at.
Yeah, and I mean, what that would have done to any momentum that could be created here, because you never know with a lineup like OU, at any point in time, something can spark.
Line drive into center field is gonna get down. Ludlam will move up to second, but Torres keeping hopes alive. And a good piece of hitting. And I'm gonna go back to your key, Destiny, because it means more right now than it has ever in this game. You've got to pass the bat.
Got to pass the torch. We have not seen that, at least from the OU side. I mean, we've seen now 8 hits, but when they're given free opportunities, there was not a lot of movement.
Sid Sanders stands in. 1 for 3 with a run scored. Hit the ball well back in the 5th. Lined out into what was a double play that got BYU out of an inning. That pitch just misses outside. And you can see the frustration from Kate Daly. Looking for the pitch on the black that hasn't been there all game. 2-1 to Sid Sanders. And you can feel the tension at Love's Field right now. Sooners trail. Have a lot of ground to make up. One swing of the bat is not going to get it done.
Quite a few fans have left. I haven't seen that.
This game rolling over the 3-hour mark. It's a 2-2, and Sanders stays alive. Not too often we see games extend over 3 hours. And this game has definitely done it. Good take by Sid Sanders as the count runs full. The 3-2. And Sid Sanders seeing a lot of pitches. Sanders ended the game last night on a 3-run home run. Starting to see the ball well. Three-two. Popped up to center field. Zavodnik gloves it, and BYU is 1 out away. BYU is 1 out away from taking down another top 5 team. The last one was over Oklahoma State on March 22nd, 11-8. And BYU turning it on when they come to the state of Oklahoma.
I mean, they have done a great job tonight. But 11-8, we see that high-scoring game. That is what they're used to.
Riley Boone, final hope here for the Sooners, as BYU is 1 out away from delivering the first Big 12 home loss to OU since April 23rd, 2017. That ball gets away and everybody moves up. And I believe the call was a strike on Boone. Runners at second and third, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th.
It's a big pitch here.
Kate Dowley has been good since she's come into this ball game. Has worked around a couple of walks, a couple of base hits. She has not been perfect, but she has found a way to get herself out of jams. She brings the 1-2, misses in the dirt. And the way this game has gone, we've talked so much about BYU pitching and the walks and some of the craziness that has happened in this ballgame on both sides, but Haley Morrow, BYU catcher, has done a tremendous job behind the plate. Dally rocks and fires. Skied high to right field, and up Guyani is going to glove it, and BYU